There were many horses playing near a shallow pond. There was a colt called Darky, who had beautiful silky black fur. Darky's mother said,
"Hey, Darky, you should always be gentle and behave yourself."
Many other horses liked Darky and his mother. One day, Darky saw hunters chasing after something.
Look, Mother! Hunters are chasing the rabbit!
One of the hunters was thrown off from his horse when the horse tripped over a stone.
Oh no, the hunter must be dead from falling from that horse.
Mother said.
The horse fell dead too.
Darky said. Hunting after the rabbit ended both the horse and the hunter in a tragedy.
What a terrible result that is,
Darky said, and his eyes were filled with tears.
I will never risk my life.
Darky was determined. Darky decided from then on not to risk his life in chasing after small animals. Darky always pledged to himself.
I will be a great healthy horse.
At last, Darky really became a great-looking horse. He had a white spot on his forehead, and one of his legs was white.
Wow, I look so cool.
Darky was trained every day to become a strong and healthy horse by the owner.
I am sure I can sell him at a good price,
said the owner. Soon after, Darky was sold to a rich man called Mr. Gordon. The horseman called John, who works for Mr. Gordon, took Darky to the stable.
Hi, guys. My name is Darky.
Darky introduced himself to the other horses in the stable.
Hello, nice to meet you.
A gray pony greeted Darky. Next day, John went for a ride with Darky.
John, what do you think of Darky?
Mr. Gordon asked John. Mr. Gordon wanted to know whether he bought a good horse or not.
He runs like a deer. He is very good.
John answered.
Good. Darky must be a good horse.
Mr. Gordon said. Mr. Gordon's wife intruded herself into their conversation and asked Mr. Gordon,
What is the horse's name?
Good question. He doesn't even have a name. What shall we call him?
Mr. Gordon said.
I think this horse is the most beautiful horse I've ever seen.
Mrs. Gordon admired.
He has black fur, so shall we name him Black Beauty?
Mrs. Gordon suggested.
Yes, Black Beauty. That is a nice name. I love it.
Mr. Gordon was very pleased with the name. One day, Mr. Gordon went to meet his friend with Black Beauty. When they arrived at Mr. Gordon's friend's house, Black Beauty rested in a stable.
I am very tired after a long trip.
Black Beauty said. Then he soon fell asleep. Soon after, Black Beauty noticed the stable was full of smoke. Suddenly, Mr. Gordon appeared to save Black Beauty.
Come out, Black Beauty, hurry up!
Luckily, Luckily, Black Beauty was led by Mr. Gordon to escape the stable. Then later one night, Mrs. Gordon was very sick. The fever caused her body to ache.
John, wake up! My wife needs a doctor right now.
Then John rode Black Beauty and hurried to bring the doctor.
Come on, Black Beauty, run! Run!
Black Beauty started to run as fast as he could. Soon after, John and Black Beauty came back with the doctor. Luckily, Mrs. Gordon was saved because Black Beauty ran so fast.
Thank you, Black Beauty. You've saved Mrs. Gordon's life.
John deeply thanked Black Beauty. Later, young Joe started to look after Black Beauty. Black Beauty became sick under Joe's lack of care. So, Mr. Gordon looked after Black Beauty with love. A few days later, Mr. Gordon decided to sell his horses because he was unable to keep horses. So, Mr. Gordon sold Black Beauty and Ginger to one of his friends.
Why aren't you listening to me?
The angry new owner shouted at Ginger. Ginger was very upset at the new owner, too.
I don't like her.
Ginger said.
I really miss Mr. Gordon and John.
Black Beauty said.
Me too.
They both missed Mr. Gordon and John. One day, the horseman took Black Beauty to town.
I completed my work today. It's time for me to drink.
Later, the drunken horseman led Black Beauty back to their home. On their way back home, the road was very rough, with a lot of stones. The horseman was thrown off from Black Beauty and died when he tripped over a stone.
Oh, are you all right, Black Beauty?
Nobody blamed Black Beauty for the horseman's death. Black Beauty got some rest until the horseshoes were ready. While resting, he thought back to his past days.
Would they remember me?
After he was fully recovered, he was sold as a cab horse. Luckily, his new owner treated Black Beauty very well.
I miss Ginger very much.
Black Beauty said. Then one day, Black Beauty and Ginger were able to meet again by chance.
Hello. How are you, Ginger?
I'm good. I missed you, Black Beauty.
But Ginger did not look so well.
My owner doesn't treat me well. I'd rather kill myself,
said Ginger, with her eyes full of tears.
Cheer up, Ginger.
Seeing Ginger so upset, Black Beauty's eyes were full of tears as well. In winter, the continuous cold temperature made Black Beauty and his owner shiver from the cold weather.
How long do we have to wait for our customers to come?
The owner of the cab mumbled to himself.
Maybe it's time for me to retire,
he said. The previous owner sold Black Beauty to another owner because he decided to retire.
I am sorry, Black Beauty. I promise you that everything will be fine,
said the cab owner, and left Black Beauty. Black Beauty's new owner treated him very badly.
I have no time to rest. I'd rather kill myself.
Then one day, Black Beauty collapsed to the ground because he didn't get enough rest. Soon, a veterinarian visited to treat Black Beauty. The vet told the owner,
The horse needs to be taken good care of and fully rested.
After Black Beauty became healthier, the owner took him to the market.
I'd better sell this horse and buy a younger horse,
said the owner. Later, an old man and his granddaughter came by Black Beauty and said,
At one time, you were more beautiful than now, I guess.
Grandpa, I like this horse. Can you buy me this horse?
A little girl called Willie asked.
He looks ill and old.
Grandpa said,
But he will get better if he lives in our garden,
said the girl.
Okay, then you should take really good care of this horse.
Then her grandfather bought Black Beauty for Willie. With Willie's good, loving care, Black Beauty became very healthy. One day, the grandfather was passing by one of the houses with Black Beauty.
Hello, Black Beauty. Remember me? It's me, Joe.
Joe was so glad to meet Black Beauty again.
I'd better go to Mrs. Gordon now and tell her that Black Beauty is here.
Joe remembered how Mrs. Gordon missed Black Beauty so much.
She will be surprised,
said Joe, excited. Soon after, Joe wrote a letter to Mrs. Gordon. After that, Mrs. Gordon often visited Joe's house to see Black Beauty.
I'm so glad to see you again, Black Beauty,
Mrs. Gordon said. Black Beauty became healthier than before, under Willie's and Joe's love and good care. He was so happy to be back at home.